Hey profs, welcome back to ClubChat. I'm your host, Kynedy Williams, and my co-host, Kaitlyn, isn't feeling too well. Not to worry though, I'll be hosting the podcast today solo. This is ClubChat. Today for our 10th episode, we have the privilege of sitting down with the news editor for The Whit, Sarah Shockey. Sarah, a sophomore here at Rowan University, is a journalism and sports communications and media double major. Welcome to ClubChat.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us about yourself, please?
Yeah, so I am from Mullica Hill, New Jersey. I've been a part of The Whit for close to 2 years. It'll be 3 after the next year. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You live really close.
Yeah, 10 minutes actually. So yeah, I am a commuter, yeah.
So in what ways do you think the role of college newspaper differs from professional newspaper?
Yeah, so The Whit, especially, it's a learning experience. We have people that come here that, they really have never written, like a journalism person before. So a lot of it is, we're very, what am I trying to say? We're very easygoing. If you make a mistake, we're not going to be never come back to The Whit. You're fired. If you were working for a real publication and you made some pretty major mistakes, you would be fired because sadly that's just the way that kind of industry works. Mm-hmm. But we really are here to nurture these people and help them kind of develop themselves as a journalist and get the flow down.
That's good because I feel like I make a lot of mistakes. I wouldn't want to get fired on my first day. So how did you get started with journalism and what motivated you to become an editor?
Yeah, so my high school, I went to Clearview Regional High School in Mullica Hill. We had a journalism program there. So we had a little college newspaper. It was called The Pioneer, named after our mascot. Mm-hmm. And I worked for that, and then I became the EIC of that. And then when I started at Rowan, I knew that I wanted to be a journalist. I had that fire in me to just want to be an editor. Right. So actually my first semester, freshman year of college, I had a class when the Whit meetings happened. So I went to my advisor and I was like, listen, I need to be a part of the Whit. Can you please switch me into a different time? Mm-hmm. So then that happened. I started writing for the Whit. I eventually, my second semester, so in the spring, I became our productions editor, which is basically the technical side of it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing any physical writing, editing or anything like that. And then at the end of my spring semester, I ran for news editor. And then, I'm here today. So I've been the news editor for the past 2 semesters, so.
That's cool. I thought I was going to be a journalist major, and then I realized I had to do a lot of research papers, and I was like, yeah, let me actually switch to something else because I hate research papers.
Yeah, no, if you don't like writing, being a journalist would be kind of hard because that's what I do on a daily basis.
You you have any trouble getting any how they get writing blocks or something?
Oh yeah, me writing sometimes it'll be good. If there's a certain thing, if I have to write a news article, usually I can just sit down, bang it out because I'm just so used to the process. Right. But other times, if I'm doing something that has to be more creative, or especially when I'm writing game stories too, because I am a beat writer, so I cover a lot of the teams. I'll sit there and stare at my laptop for an hour because I can't even think of the intro. Sometimes I'll have to write the entire body of the story before I write the intro because it's I don't know. There's just something about it because you want to hook people and you want it to sound good. So that takes me some time. But yeah,
that's how I am with regular papers. The intro. If I can't get the intro, I will not be starting a body. I have to start the intro before I get everything else.
Yeah, no, articles is different for me. Academic papers, I'll stare at my laptop for 2 hours before I start writing. Sadly, even as a journalist who writes every day, you're never immune to writer's block. It's a shame, really.
I thought y'all would have been used to it. I'm glad we all on the same boat though. That's good. That's good. So could you explain your editorial process from story pitching to publication?
Yeah, so every week at our meetings, I have to come up with, story ideas that I think are newsworthy. So I'll give the example this past week. I had the chance to go tour the new fossil park in Mantua, so I put that on the board, and then also the Student Center expansion open, so that was up there. These people that come to our meetings, they just say, hey, I want to do that. So then they, put their name next to it. And then the whole week up until leading up to the next Whit Wednesday is kind of just constant communication with these people. I'm basically their lifeline. So if they have any questions, they need help writing, I'm on call to help them. And then once I get the articles, I have to read through them. I have to fix any grammatical stuff. I have to make sure it sounds good. Then I put it into our website where it goes through our team of copy editors. And then our editor-in-chief reads it before it eventually gets published. And then the last thing we do is on those Wednesdays is once all of my articles are published, I physically have to lay them out on the pages. So when you open a physical copy of The Whit and you look at all the news pages, everything on that page has been touched by me. So like I have to be a writer and I have to be a designer, a graphic designer pretty much, because like you want it to look good too.
Right.
And that's what I spend a majority of the time on. So like publication days, which are Wednesday nights, I'm in the Whit room from 5 p.m. until like midnight. So it's like 7 hours straight of just work.
Wow.
So it's a real grind to get a physical copy out every week. So
That's crazy. So is like the Whit run by all students, or?
yeah, so we have our faculty advisor, but he's really just there, Professor DiUlio, he's really just there for like guidance. He doesn't really have an input on what we do. He's just there to offer like his professional opinion. But yeah, every editor position, every staff writer position are like Rowan students.
Wow, oh, y'all are talented. Okay. So how do you manage deadlines, especially during busy times like finals or major events?
Yeah, so it's definitely rough. I mean, you kind of see it throughout the semester when finals week and stuff comes, like the staff writers becomes less and less because people get busy. So a lot of it too is just like I have to take the initiative as well. Like there's some weeks like if somebody's like I can't do this, I'm too busy, like I have to physically go out and write it. But also too just like, you know, offering reassurance, like offering help. Like if somebody comes to me, they're like I'm overwhelmed, I can't do it, like just saying, "Hey, here, I got you, like I'll help you out." Because it is, like I said, it's a learning experience. We're not going to, like, get mad at you if you say, hey, like, I'm too overwhelmed, I can't. Like, we're here to help and, you know, kind of guide you through it, so.
That's pretty cool. Does the WIT organize any fun activities or events outside of general body meetings?
So not really. Really, what the WIT does is just kind of covering campus events. But I will say, like, for the staff writers and the editors themselves, like we become such like a tight-knit family that we do often like do like little fun stuff together. Like I know for us, like karaoke is a big thing for us. We love to go sing karaoke. We also recently just went to a college conference in New York City. So that was a thing we did. We stayed there for like 2 nights and we got to like network with professionals and meet other student journalists. So yeah, the WIT does go on like club trips, but mainly what we do is like just hanging around Rowan and covering their events and keeping campus informed.
Right.
So.
Okay, this might be a little off topic, but what's your favorite karaoke song?
I'd have to say Umbrella by Rihanna. Okay. I don't know what it is. Like, I think I might have just gaslit myself, but I really think I hit those notes every time. But yeah, I'd have to say that one for sure.
Rihanna. What advice would you give to other students interested in pursuing a career in journalism, specifically at a college level?
Yeah, so I'd have to say you'd have to be pretty dedicated because it is a lot. I mean, in the real world, I have my friend Abigail. She was also an old editor at The Whit. She recently just got her first journalism job, and she has to write 6 to 8 articles a week. So just thinking about that, like from that level, that's the level of workload you're expected to have. And like I said, in the real world, they're not going to be as easy on you. You kind of have to stick to your deadlines. So you really have to love what you're doing, and you have to be motivated. And like, obviously, you're going to be under a lot of pressure. Got to handle the pressure. But, you know, if you like what you're doing, you're never working a day in your life. Yeah. So while that can be intimidating and scary for some people, if you really do like being a journalist, it's never going to feel like you're working. So that's what I'd have to.
Shout out Abigail, 6 to 8.
I know she is literally, we called her the backbone of the WIT. Like she has the most articles written in WIT history. She has 108. Wow. Yeah, she's the girl. She's a girl boss. Like, what can I say?
I can't do all that writing. I don't know. I would have had ChatGPT or something. That's crazy.
I know.
That's insane. So, do you have any favorite journalists or writers who's inspired you?
Yeah, so I definitely say, as somebody who wants to be a sports journalist, I'll take any journalism job once I graduate, but I would really like to be a sports journalist. I really look up to the people like Devin Kynedy. She works for WIP. She does like sideline for the Eagles and stuff. I look up to like Erin Andrews, people like that, just who are like women in sports, because it is such a male-dominated industry that I feel like those are always the people that I'm going to look up to because they did the hard part. They broke into an industry where it's predominantly male. So those are always the people that I'm going to kind of look up to.
Shout out to the news anchors, y'all. So what is something you would love for students that aren't involved to know about the WIT?
Yeah, so I'd say the WIT, while we are just a club on campus, we really do exist to kind of inform the community and kind of keep everybody engaged with what's going on at their school. Because, yeah, we cover the athletic teams, we cover the club events, we cover the news on campus, but also just Glassboro as a whole. I mean, we kind of tackle this problem that we say is news deserts. So basically news deserts form when like a local town doesn't have a newspaper that covers them. And it really has to do with the fact that local journalism, like, the small papers and stuff, they go out of business. And Glassboro doesn't have a newspaper. So people in the Glassboro community are actually reading the Whit, and we actually cover a lot of Glassboro events too. So really, when you're a part of the Whit, you're not only like getting your reps as a journalist and you're like becoming a part of a campus club community, you're also just like helping to inform the public, and what you're writing is actually giving back to the greater good because you're informing people who otherwise would not have any form of news in their town. So I think that's something that's really special about the Whit.
That's nice. Shout out the Whit. They doing it for Glassboro too, y'all. Okay, so this is our favorite time. We got this or that. So it's time to have some fun, We have this or that newspaper edition, and we're going to ask you to answer a series of questions by choosing which you prefer. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Editing on a laptop or desktop?
I'd have to say editing on a laptop. I don't know. It's just because it's always what I've used, and like specifically the Mac desktops, I'm not a fan of. Like the mice, I guess I should say, they're a real pain. So I'd have to say laptop, just because it's like small, portable. I can do it anywhere. Yeah. I can't drag a desktop with me like everywhere. So
that's a lot to handle. It's too big. You like to print or digital publishing?
I'd have to say print. I don't know, something about just like messing, like I was talking about earlier, how like you kind of feel like you're a graphic designer in a way. Like the creative, like my creative brain just goes off when I'm like laying out a page physically. So I'd have to say print. And also too, just knowing like when I see a print newspaper, how much work went into it. Yeah. Like I think that's why when you have the behind the scenes perspective, you really start to appreciate print more.
Do you like writing a lead or writing the conclusion?
I'd have to probably say, that's a hard question. Maybe the conclusion. I feel like because you're kind of wrapping it up in a sense, and I always try to tie my conclusions into the lead. So really they work in tandem, but probably the conclusion, just because you like leave it off on a note. Yeah.
I feel like the lead takes so long, like just that's the intro basically, right?
Yeah,
that takes too long. I know how I am. That's going to take me years.
I know. I said I sit and stare at my laptop. I'll have to write the rest of the article before I can write the intro and conclusion. It's really a struggle, but probably the conclusion for me.
Morning deadlines or evening deadlines?
Evening deadlines. I cannot wake up early for the life of me, so I'm a night owl. Like I'll say I'd rather pull an all-nighter editing and writing than have to wake up early just to turn something in. So for me, the evening.
I'm the same way. I hate waking up early. Coffee or tea while editing?
Coffee. I don't like tea. I think it tastes like grass. That might be a hot take for some people, but I don't like tea, like at all.
My favorite tea is McDonald's sweet tea.
Okay, period.
You gotta, get a cup of that. Let it cool a little bit, and it just be real good.
And all the journalism people will know, or any like Edelman CCCA students, High Grounds on High Street.
Oh yeah,
that's the place to be. That's the place to be. Yeah, because it's right down the street from the art gallery, 301 High Street. I'm there. The workers know my name. They walk in, they know my order. Like that might be sad for some people, but to me, it just makes me feel appreciated. Like
shout out to High Ground.
They support my caffeine addiction. They really do.
They're good. They're good.
Love them.
Yeah, but you gotta try. I mean, one day I'm gonna come to the Whit. I'm gonna get you some nice tea.
Okay.
I like
chai is not bad, but I'm not a tea person.
I don't know about chai. Man, chai is iffy. I just like sweet tea, like regular sweet tea.
I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Cold. It's okay hot. Like that's more when you sick, but cold.
That's more of like a British thing, I think.
Yeah, like I'm not about to heat up no tea.
Yeah, no.
But cold tea, some sugar.
I'll give it a try. All right.
Cool. Covering controversy or writing feel-good stories?
I'd have to say, for me, probably controversy, just because that's the one, like, a lot of it, too, is you get pushback. But I think that's what is the most rewarding, at least for me, because if you're tackling a hard issue and, like, a complicated one, and you get, like, pushback, like, it means you're kind of doing your job. It means you're doing your job well, because if you didn't, like, get the full picture, people wouldn't be mad at you. So it's just like, probably controversy. But feel-good stories are good, too, because then you, like, see the reactions of people being like, oh, I'm so happy that you did this, blah, blah, blah. So for me, like, they're both good, but something about covering controversy, you feel like you're like in a movie. You feel like you're the main character in like a detective or something, and you feel like you're on a mission.
Those are the juiciest.
I know, like gossip, really. Yeah. That's what it is.
So do you like listening to music while working or complete the silence?
So I listen to music. It's actually sad. Like, I can't go anywhere without my AirPods. Like, if I forget my AirPods, like if I'm coming from home and I'm driving to campus and I realize I forget my AirPods, it like ruins my day.
Oh, I would go all the way back.
Because it's like, I can't walk in silence anymore. It's like sad. Like, it really is. But I have to have the music. It keeps my brain going and it keeps me engaged. Because otherwise I'll get distracted and like, I don't even know.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
What type of music do you listen to? Like,
so it really depends. Okay. Like when I'm walking around campus, it's usually like Taylor Swift. I'm a big Swiftie, or I really like Kendrick Lamar too. So it's usually that. To him too. Yeah, I'm going to see him in May. I'm really excited about that. But them, and then when I'm writing, it's usually like more mellow stuff. Like it's a mix of everything. Like Lana Del Rey, just really mellow, like almost jazzy kind of.
I was going to ask, I'm like, when you're writing, do you listen to stuff with, like, words or just, like, music?
With words, yes, but, like, it can't be, like, pop music because otherwise I'll start, like, singing and I'll get, like, excited. Like, it's got to be, like, more mellow, like, like Loive, too. All those are big ones for me when writing.
Cool. Well, I said that. Interviews in person or over the phone?
I'd got to go with in person just because, like, it builds that connection. Like, when you go to interview somebody, like, you're trying to, like, get responses out of them, but you also have to be personable. Because if, like, we were doing this interview and you were just, like, staring me down and, like, only asking questions and you weren't making it a conversation, like, that'd make the person uncomfortable. Yeah. It's like, you got to keep the person comfortable. You have to show them with, while you're a journalist and you have a job to do, you're also here to just, like, get to know them and, like, be friendly. And you're not scary. Like, you're not trying to be intimidating. And sometimes over the phone, too, it's just kind of, like, awkward. It's like you don't see their face. You don't really see how they're reacting to certain things. And, I definitely have to go with in person.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like over the phone, it's like I'm just asking you the questions and I'm just getting the answer and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, like, real personal connection there, so.
Team Oxford, or team no Oxford, Okay. And please explain what that is to the
so the Oxford, this is a big thing among the writer community. It's when you're listing three things. So let's say we have apples, oranges, and bananas. Apples, oranges, commas, and bananas. That comma after oranges, that's the Oxford comma. So that's like how most people, this is where I say I'm team Oxford, That's how you should write it. Right. But then the non-Oxford comma would be apples, commas, oranges, and bananas. Both technically are right. If you like look it up in Google, like neither is technically wrong. But if you're not a psychopath, the Oxford comma is the correct way. Because I mean, I know for me, when I was in like first grade and they were like, we're going to write, that's how I was taught to do it. But you know, some people, they just don't use it. And
I feel like that don't look right.
It doesn't, because then you think the last two are grouped. Yeah. It's like, it's so annoying.
Just take all the comments out at this point.
But like if someone turns an article into me, like I'm not gonna judge you for not using the Oxford comma, but I'm gonna be like, wow, it's so sad that you're misinformed. Like, just use the Oxford comma, guys.
I would edit that comma right in. I don't know.
I know, you got to do it. Like, it's just the way it should be done. You know, it's like an unwritten rule. It really is.
I agree. So, do you have any final thoughts about the WIT or any advice about joining the WIT?
Yeah, so the WIT's open to everyone. I mean, we mainly have journalism and sports chem majors, like by naturally, but you can also just be a major from anyone. We've had environmental science majors, we've had business majors, we've had literally every major come and write for the WIT, and we love to have new writers come in and just like show like what they can do. And we meet every Wednesday at 5 in Bosworth Hall, room 108. So if you have any interest in joining, you know, come and pop out. We're a really fun group, and we love to have new people. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us for the 10th episode of ClubChat. We can't wait to meet more clubs on campus. If you're interested, check out our show notes in the link in our Instagram bio and sign up today. See you next time.